Welcome back to another episode of the High Altitude Training Institute. My name is Greg Viverdio, and this is week 16 of the Intermediate Half Marathon Training Plan. If you haven't watched the introduction video, I highly recommend that you do so. That video will give you information about three separate things. The first one is which of these training plans should you be following? We have a beginners, we have an intermediate, and we have an advanced training plan. The second thing is figuring out where you should be starting your training in these videos. This is a 20-week program, but maybe all you need is 16 weeks. So go on the website and figure out where you should be starting this plan. And finally, the last thing that it will do is help you with the pace. Which pace should you be doing on your easy run? Which pace should you be doing on your long run, on your tempo run, and all of that. That's all going to be in the introduction video. So go ahead and check it out. The link will be in the description below. The topic that I want to discuss this week is two different types of paces that you will see during this week's of training. The first one is a repetition pace, and the other one is a threshold pace. Now, if we look at this run intensity chart, you will see that your easy run is obviously the easiest that you can do. Same for your long run. And then we have the marathon pace, and then we have what I want to talk about, which is the threshold pace. Now, that threshold pace is going to be about 88 to 92% of your maximum heart rate. The next one will be interval. We're not going to do any interval this week, or we're not going to do any hard workout this week either. And the next one is going to be our repetition pace, which is pretty much 100% of your maximum heart rate. We're going to do that for a fairly short amount of time, as you can see in some of this week's workouts. Now, the important part about these paces is that you can see there is a whole gamut of different paces that we will follow during this entire training plan. So you really want to make sure that you're going to stick with these paces and not anything slower or anything faster. Each of these paces has been designed so that you can get your heart rate to a very specific location and that you're working a very specific part of your body. Now let's take a look at this week's training plan. During this first week of phase 2, like we just said, there's going to be a few changes. And the first one being the introduction of 2 quality workouts, one on Tuesday and one on Thursday. Now the total mileage for this week is going to be 26 miles. We have 16 weeks until race day. And if you're doing the entire 20 weeks of training, this is week 5 out of 20 of training. In terms of your easy run, we're going to have 2 easy runs, one on Monday and one on Saturday. And then on Tuesday, we're going to do a special kind of workout, which is going to be a short workout at repetition pace. Now, if you don't know what your repetition pace, be sure to watch the introduction video so you can download the file that contains all the different paces that you're going to be doing during this workout. Now, this first workout is going to be challenging, to say the least. And the way we're going to do this workout is kind of interesting. It's going to be 2 sets of the following. And the following is 200 meters at repetition pace with 200 meter jog in between, followed by 200 meters at repetition pace, and then 400 meters of rest jog, and then 400 meters at repetition, and then 200 meters of rest. Now this whole thing, we're going to do that twice. That's the 2 sets right here. It's going to be a total of 3.5 miles. And by the time you're done, you're going to feel like your legs are on fire and like you had a really good workout. If you have access to a track, I highly recommend that you go on the track. Now remember, 200 meters is half a lap. So you're going to do half a lap and then at repetition, and then the rest of the half lap as a jog. Then again, half a lap, and then you're going to do a full lap from there as a rest, as a jog. And then you're going to go out again and do a full lap at repetition, 400 meters, and then half a lap to finish and rest. And on Thursday, we'll have a slightly different workout. Again, if you have access to a track, then go ahead and use that. And we're going to do 3 times 1 mile at T-pace or threshold pace. And again, if you don't know your threshold pace, take a look at the introduction video and find out what your threshold pace should be for this run. Now, if you're going to do this on the track, 1 mile on the track is 4 laps. So you're going to do 4 laps at that repetition pace. And the important part here is that the rest is not going to be a jog rest, but it's going to be a standing rest. So on all of those threshold runs, those T runs, you're going to be standing at the end of the track, waiting for a minute, and then going out again to do your 1 mile repeat. And you're going to repeat that as many times as necessary on your workout and go from there. And finally, we're going to finish the week with our long run, which is going to be 7 miles this week, and have a really good week of training for first week of phase 2. As always, please give us a like, leave us a comment if you have any question, and don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot more videos coming up for you in the near future. If you want more information about the High Altitude Training Institute and what we do, please go ahead and visit www.altitude.run. You'll find that we do offer coaching, and we also offer a custom training plan for other distances. And finally, we offer summer running camps at high altitude in the summer in Arizona. Join us, find out more information, and we will see you next week. Have a great week of training.